I love Harbor. He is Valorant's newest agent with his abilities revolving around water. When he was released, many people complained that all three primary abilities were focused on vision denial. He seems like a strong agent for attack, which holds up, but lacks any ability to angle sights and delay pushes, which all other controllers can. Omen can use his paranoia, Brimstone can use his molly, and Asher can use her gravity well. People also mentioned that Harbor's ultimate seemed lackluster, with enemies just being able to move out of the way. After playing with him for quite a while, I would say that he isn't as bad as he's portrayed. So let's begin. Harbor is Valorant's latest controller agent wielding ancient technology with dominion over water. He uses his abilities to deny vision and take space for his team to set them up for success. His C ability is a wave of water that moves in a straight line that could be stopped by the player or when the max distance is reached. This could be used to take space to contested space, especially when an operator is on the other side. His Q ability is a bubble of shielding water that would block bullets until broken. When the bubble is broken, it will disappear after a short delay. This ability is quite handy when planting or defusing in a vulnerable position. His signature ability is a wall of water that can be controlled and bent to his own will. Players going through the wall will be applied a slow debuff for a short time. This could be useful to cover many angles at once, where many other controllers could not. His ultimate is a geyser pool that moves slowly towards a certain direction. Enemy players caught in the area are targeted by successive geyser strikes, which concuss on impact. This could be impactful when executing or retaking a contested site. All of Harbor's abilities are used for vision denial and reallocating in unfavorable positions. This could be beneficial, but when holding down a site, it could be difficult to stop enemies from ignoring your smokes. Now, after decoding what Harbor does, let's begin by saying how special Harbor is by a pair of words. Simply versatile. Now, on the outside, he doesn't seem like a versatile agent with his only abilities to deny vision, but I beg to differ. Obviously, he can smoke choke points using his wide array of abilities, but he can also initiate, enter, and lock down sites. His ultimate is basically a breach and fade out combined, with a successful geyser strikes and soft recon through the lines above the enemy players. The large area his ultimate receives also gives the incentive to the enemy players to get out of the site as soon as possible, similar to Killjoy's lockdown, where being in range would be a terrible idea. His wave also feels more of an initiator's ability rather than a controller, since it gives your team that initial space to execute onto site by pushing the enemies away. He could also enter sites by using his bubble. Since spamming through smokes is a rather effective way to get kills before the retake, his bubble counteracts that by being able to take space for the team without needing to care for the bombardment of bullets. Finally, he is able to lock down sites by not starting using his slows, but using his smokes to create pockets of uncertainty and through kills, similar to Chamber. A normal controller would deny vision of a choke point with a smoke and use their ability to control the opening. But Harbor can take it one step further and make multiple smaller choke points for the enemy to take. Now, for example, in Pro A site, if a normal controller would smoke the A main choke point, the enemy team is given this entire space for free. But if Harbor would smoke it, it would create smaller pockets where his team could theoretically play in, and therefore the enemy would have to proceed with caution. This isn't to say that Harbor is easy to slap onto the team comp though. You see, Harbor does have some weaknesses, pretty significant ones actually. Harbor is used very differently from other controllers. His single-use wall supports rushing sides and makes it difficult to play slow. Valorant's meta is currently revolved around playing for picks, especially in maps where map control is superior, like Bind or Haven. The main problem with this kit is that when you have all 3 pieces of utility achieving the same goal, then you don't have a lot of flexibility in managing different tasks. For instance, if you hear a sound that the enemy team is rushing towards your side, the only thing you can do is what? Block vision, and block vision. His most expensive piece of utility, costing 350 creds, can simply be countered by the enemy team having guns. Using this ability makes it difficult to manage an area, and it doesn't give any room for creativity. His wave and walls of water are also very clunky to use. The slow debuff isn't big enough to affect your opponents and affects you, so it's a symmetrical effect. Consequently, if you want to push through your own utility, you're going to get punished. Harbor is an agent that requires creativity when needing to do a specific task, because his kit does the same thing, which is vision denial. His kit is focused on playing it fast, but isn't locked into that playstyle. He has a lack of crowd control unlike other controllers, but can access in areas that they cannot. Although Harbor does have some clear negatives, I still like him because his kit makes it easy to be creative. All of his utility can be changed in some way and can impact how it's formed. Harbor is still finding a spot in the meta, but the future seems bright for this water bender.